Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, continuing with my series where I try to break my backlog. This is the 6th game I have beaten this year and it was a long time coming. That game is Super Castlevania IV, a game first released on the Super Nintendo, and although the story is a retelling of the original game, the game itself is very different. The version of the game I played was on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection on Nintendo Switch, and I am reviewing just this game, not the collection as a whole. I played through the entire thing using the Super Nintendo controller that you get if you have Nintendo Switch Online, and I played the whole thing on stream over 2 parts. Both videos are available to watch in those links in the description. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up with me in this journey where I stream several times a week in order to keep breaking my backlog. And there will be no restraint on spoilers. So, what is Super Castlevania IV? It's an action platformer where you play as Simon Belmont, whip in hand, as he journeys into the castle to fight Dracula, with all sorts of beasties along the way. Booting up the game, you are greeted to its gorgeous 16-bit graphics, which I don't think have aged a day. There's something about the SNES and Mega Drive games in general that have a timeless feel to them. The stage designs, all the little details you see in the background, the fog in places, it just has a fantastic atmosphere, and the music is outstanding too. Whenever I play this game and that theme just kicks in after a while, it gets me pumped for action. The controls I think are just perfect, especially using the SNES controller. You can throw the whip diagonally this time and it always feels satisfying to use. You start off every life with your bog standard whip, but hitting candles makes items appear. You can get 2 whip upgrades this way. The first one turns it into a stronger chain whip, and the second one extends its reach. You always get them very quickly on each life, which makes me wonder why it's not just available in the first place. Other items you get from the candles are gold, which gives you points, reaching certain milestones earns you an extra life. Pieces of meat give you health back, hearts act as your ammo for the items you can get, secondary items act as projectiles which come in very handy at times. Axes are thrown in an arch, knives straight forward, crosses are used as boomerangs, and there's also etc. as well. You can only throw one item at a time, but if you pick up a Roman numeral 2 or a Roman numeral 3, then you can use that many items at a time. I'm the type of gamer who tends to hoard my items. Whenever something is limited, I like to save it, to the point where I will beat the game without ever using them. But this game encourages you to use them, as when you reach the end of a stage, you lose all your ammo anyway. Which may seem harsh, but I needed something like that to get me to try out these different attacks. There are 11 stages overall, each split into several sections. I never know what to call them, as whenever you see the map in between the stages it refers to them as stages, but in the top right it calls them blocks. So maybe the sub-stages are the blocks? Who knows? The first 9 are numbered, but then the 10th and 11th are called A and B. I'm guessing they couldn't fit a second digit up there. Each time you die, you go back to the beginning of that block, so if you died on block 2-3, you restart 2-3. But if you get game over, you start the whole stage again, so get game over on 2-3, you go back to 2-1. This isn't a consistent rule, as towards the end of the game the blocks become permanent checkpoints, which was fantastic news seeing just how difficult it got. And yes, the game is incredibly difficult, but it is not unfairly so. You have infinite continues and a password system that allows you to restart the stage you left it on. The Anniversary Collection allows you to do a quick save, but no proper save states, which is something I would never use anyway. I just wouldn't feel like I had beaten the game if I had used those. I used the password system once to return to where I was, since my streaming took place over 2 separate days. One thing that makes the game fair, something I also mentioned with Cyber Shadow, is that everything is always in the same place when you retry, so it just comes down to memorisation. Where are the enemies, how do they move, and when and where is it best to evade them? It also requires skill and patience as well. There are moments where it can feel unfair though, especially with some nasty beginners traps, but once you know where they are avoidable, and eventually you'll bypass things without any trouble. But it is a bit of a grind to get that far, although getting knocked back into a pit after taking a hit never stops getting frustrating. As I mentioned, none of my deaths I could blame on the controls, although the jumping is a bit stiff compared to games like Mario, but the level design is catered to the way Simon moves. One new addition is the fact that you can attach your whip to these hooks to swing around on. The swinging controls feel great as you build up momentum, and sometimes it can feel a bit awkward jumping off correctly or getting a long enough reach, but I only realised on these streams, after goodness knows how many times playing this, you can adjust the length of the whip while hanging. How did I never know this? Another move you can do with the whip is twirl it around like this. I always enjoyed this, but I just considered it a flashy move of no real use. I mean, you can get a few hits in, but it's not very strong. Turns out that move is a highly valuable one when fighting the Grim Reaper towards the end of the game. There's not much else to say about this game other than I love it. It's extremely difficult, but not unfairly so. The controls are nigh on perfect. The levels are so well designed with a lot of variety and gimmicks to some of them, and retrying them over and over again to eventually beat it is incredibly satisfying. My overall stream time was about 5.5 hours, with the second half of the game being mostly new to me. Basically, the second stream is 3 hours of just the last 3 stages. But going through all these frustrating moments is worth it for that satisfying feeling of getting through a section you have spent so long attempting. I can now proudly say I have beaten Super Castlevania IV. I never thought I'd ever get round to it, but it's a really good feeling and I highly recommend getting the Castlevania collection for this game alone. But there's some other good games on there too. Will I ever beat them? Who knows? I will now leave you with the moment where I finally beat the game. Enjoy. Oh, is that enough? Let's do it one more. Yes! Come on! Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Full health on the final phase. Here we go. Little bit of health gone. Alright. Yes! I got full health again. Okay. Just going to keep throwing these. I've got loads of them. It's got 4 more hit points. Oh no, he's not losing any health. I'm going to have to just do that, just stay safe. He's got 2 left. No. Oh my god. What? I wasn't even underneath it that time. Ah! Oh my god. I did it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just please let that be it. Oh my god. Is that it? Full health at least. Oh my god. It's ending the stage. I just beat Super Castlevania IV. Oh my god, I never thought I'd ever beat this game.